what may be seen as just a game holds much more under the surface. Countless stories reveal aspects of human nature that may forever remain untold. And here on Philosophy, we will tell those stories. I am David Leibowitz, and this is Philosophy, video game philosophy. Time to get the spiel for your enlightenment. Game start.
I'm the Mafia, the OG. I cloned Jesus and made better Jesus. What else is there to say? I'm awesome.
I'm here too. I'm technically a mainline villain. Can I be a part of this?
You suck, Archer. No one cares about you. Has anyone seen my son? He's with the main protagonist and that concerns me.
My calculations tell me too much water.
No, there's not enough water. It's time for Noah's Ark in this biatch, and I'm God. I'm popping all the pills right now. I don't care, I won't have any place to live after this. I'm the savior. Me and that whale are gonna have a good time.
I'm pimping out with my red chains. With my newfound power, I can control Zawarudo and King Crimson at my side. Yeah, I don't care. I'm just a cold hard badass with no eyebrows. And I would have gotten away with everything if it wasn't for those meddling kids and their damn Pokémon.
Fellow Pokémon trainers, I, Ghetsis Harmonia Gropius, am here to tell the world to liberate the Pokémon! With my adopted son, whose name can be spelled with just 3 fingers and these 2 stones, we will enact our plan with our Lord and Savior, Pita, to reach Nirvana. It's all about Scientology. Nothing bad will ever happen to us. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it! Screw this. Screw the other sages. Screw the Pokemon. Pita's just gonna smite us all. You know what? Let's just freeze the world, because I don't care about subtlety anymore. Let's just fuse the frickin' dragons already. I blame science!
Fascism is fashionable.
It's your boy, Guzma. I don't respect authority, but I'm a giant tool to the crazy lady.
Alien invasion, bitches. I love Pokémon so much that I am doing the climax of Detective Pikachu first. But just for myself. The world is beautiful. I will make it more beautiful with jellyfish fun time. I want to be a part of you. I want to be you. Who's evil now? I neglected my children.
You're coming to Kanto with me, Mom.
Welcome to the world of psychiatric hospitals. Get into that room and don't come out.
I am sucking out the goodness from this story.
I do declare something energy crisis, something maybe climate change. I'm evil now.
I'm going to stop you, Chairman Ross. Wait, why are you doing this?
I don't know, just one day I was bored, I was like, I'm gonna be evil. Well, lass, it was such a twist, right?
No, it kind of didn't. Team Yell
Aye.
was a joke, and so it had to be someone else.
I know! It could have been so much better. But no! I'm summoning a giant alien monster instead.
Yeah, just leave.
You have to beat me first, lass. In monster combat.
Balls! Balls! Balls!
Well, lass, we had a jolly good time. I'm off to jail. It's all good. I'm a happy guy. I just threatened to destroy the world, but it's all good. It was for the environment. Not really. It was just for me. I could buy myself out. It's all good. I have the money for that. Pokémon was created by Satoshi Tajiri, who, based on his love for insect collecting when he was young and going outside and loving nature, created this series. Pokémon fosters a strong sense of community, based on its focus in trading and battling other players. Although it doesn't have the best stories, there's a lot more deep inside them than you think. And when you look at the overall concept, as opposed to what Gen 5 did, you see a lot of questions that need to be analyzed, and have been, and we're going to analyze them again. Pokémon overall is my favorite video game franchise, and this is going to be a work of love. Get ready, guys. Let's talk about man's place in nature. Let's do it now. And other questions as well relating to community. Time to start. The first games Red and Blue or Red and Green in Japan, you are tasked with catching them all. That is the main theme of the TV show, the first show, and that is also what you can do and what is easily attainable of doing in Gen 1, only if you have a friend with the other version, or you just have the money to get both and want to go through it twice. But clearly, it's an idea of wanting community. The idea of catching them all is very much related to man's trying to conquer and document all of the world. Think of catching them all as recording them all, because you record them in a Pokédex, and then you have them, just like we have try to have a lot of animals in zoos if we can, in aquariums and all these places. That is man's goal of science. But when a Pokemon is catched, it can be either a tool or it can be your friend. You can love it, or you can hate it, or you can do whatever with it. These get into questions, of course, animal rights. Pokemon very much, in many ways, exposits the ideals of teamwork, as you must cooperate with other people and have friends in order to trade the Pokemon. And that is the role of community, and community is very much based in a lot of these games. So Pokemon Black and White asks the question, what role do the Pokemon play in our community? Should they be our quote-unquote slaves? Are they friends? Should we free them? The fun thing is that, of course, it concludes with Ghetsis saying he was manipulating N, who legitimately believes in this and believes he can talk to Pokemon. And Plasma is, of course, believes in N's ideals, or the truth, and that, of course, is a whole other idea, truth and ideals, and is another little idea, but still fits into everything. Either way, let's us ask the question, should Pokemon be kept for trainers' purposes? This, of course, brings us to the animal rights debate. Now remember, animal welfare and animal rights are two separate things. Animal welfare means taking the greatest care of animals in captivity. Animal rights to its extreme means freeing all animals in captivity because they are people. Are animals people? Research has shown that animals have very exquisite experience. Even fish do. Fish can experience pain. Here are some things to keep in mind. Specifically, dogs. Dogs chose this fate. What scientists have hypothesized is that dogs evolved by coming close to dens of people and eating the food. A dog's evolution revolves around people. The dog's environment revolves around the person. Is that the same for other domesticated animals, even cats? Cats who very much look at you in a more detached way, but still in a very loving way? There is a difference, but overall, connections between pet keeping and Pokemon are differently there, and that's what I'm going to keep this as. Also, we can, of course, keep zoo animals as well, but here it is. Either way, we're talking about Pokemon at the moment. My answer to the animal rights thing, one, I eat meat, and I'm not going to stop. I think man can do that. In regards to pets, dogs evolved to be with us, so we should keep them. Cats, on the other hand, well, here's the thing. If you let the cats go, what would they do? They can live, but one, they're going to eat a lot of birds, as they already do, but two, they might not have the evolution to truly survive. That's probably the case with all of the animals in general that live in captivity. When they freed Willie, the orca whale, it died. It's not good to free animals from captivity at this moment. If you think it's bad, well, sorry. You're going to have to take good efforts to reintroduce all these animals if you want to end the pet industry. And yes, it does make sense for just wild animals to be kept as pets. Maybe not good, though I want to. But specifically dogs should never be freed, because they evolved to be this way. In the case of Pokemon also have different levels of intelligence. You pretty much know they feel pain. They can be traded at will. They are bred for fighting and work for people. And let's just say they do have a higher level of intelligence and are all magical creatures with insane levels of power. Humans, pretty much, outside of our intelligence in some cases, and are able to conquer the world, Pokemon are clearly superior beings to people in general. They can destroy you. But you know what? That might also be the case with the real world as well. An animal, if they want to kill you. Question is, could a person shoot a Pokemon with a gun and kill it? We'll never know. It's a children's game. We will never know. Because we never know, all we have is a state in which man lives in harmony with nature. More with that later. Balance is a theme that comes out a lot. Team Plasma initially want to set free all Pokemon, and even when Ghetsis wants to keep all the Pokemon for himself, he's still offsetting that kind of balance. The balance between yin and yang. One is needed without the other. The Pokemon and trainer, at this moment, probably needed together, or at least one person cannot hold everything, because that is balance. That is the identity. That is the duality of yin and yang. Truth and ideals. One cannot exist without the other. That is why N and the trainer are perfect for each other, and that is the nature of community. So back to Pokemon rights. Biggest question, and much vaguer in the games than it is the anime, do Pokemon enjoy battling? I will put this in mind. Remember, in competitive, people cheat Pokemon and create them. And even when they do breed them, again, they are just breeding them for the sole purpose of battling, and may never give them any quote-unquote source of love that they could, though likely they will max their happiness stat, so if they especially want to give them a return. Outside of the anime, which clearly shows that there are trainers that value their Pokemon and others that see them as tools, we have fewer links in the games. We know that after you beat Blue and Red and Blue and Fire Red Wreath Green, that your bonds were stronger than his with your Pokemon, that's why you beat him. In Generation 2, the happiness stat was introduced, in which you use to evolve your Eevee into Espeon and Umbreon, either night or day. Happiness stat also relates to the move Return, which if you max, gets the highest power, as opposed to the move Frustration, which if you have the Pokemon at lowest happiness, then you can maximize its power. The fact that Return is the move that's being used in competitive movesets over Frustration means that people have souls and people want to treat their Pokemon well. Further added in Generation 6 and beyond, Affection was added, or some other name for it. Completely separate from happiness, it exists in Pokemon Ami, a mini mode in which you pet and feed your Pokemon and give them as much love as possible. And when you do that, they can possibly survive hits, get critical hits which do higher damage, and ignore armor, the defenses. These are only active in the main game as opposed to competitive, because that would be broken. But just another lesson that treating your Pokemon well is good. From this alone, at least there are some hints that you should treat animals and Pokemon well. There have been laws in states and many others that you need to treat pets well, and that is the same in the games. The more better you treat your animals, the more they will do well. The more you train them, the stronger they will be. The more effort you put into your animals, that is the case. Of course, dogfighting is there, racehorsing is there, which racehorses are fine, but either way, that's not necessarily love, but the fact is, well, let me get back to the resources. The fact is, there's clearly a message, at least, that you should love your Pokemon. Not see them as tools, which, of course, in the anime is shown far more better with Ash's relationship as to his Pikachu and all of his Pokemon, as opposed to certain other trainers which treat them like shit. My verdict, Pokemon are not slaves. There are many other people who do that, including Treesicle, who has said that Pokemon are actually more free than we think. Overall, enjoy this series as you wish, because it truly instills a love of nature and the natural world. The question is, how much do pets go to that? And we will go with that in other things. On to the balance of nature and other things, with Lysandre and others. So in Pokemon X and Y, Lysandre is the leader of Team Flare, a group of fashion Nazis. He wants to use the legendary Pokemon Yveltal or Xerneas to pretty much kill everyone that is not Team Flare, Pokemon included. He says it because he thinks that the amount of people in the world is not sustainable. This fits Malthusian human population ecology and the tragedy of the commons, which goes after that. Thomas Malthus brought up the idea of carrying capacity, how much an ecosystem could eventually, if there was too many people, the population would be unsustainable. That is exactly what Lysandre is saying. Going even further, there's an idea of Tragedy of the Commons made by Garrett Hardin. Tragedy of the Commons goes like this. There is a field and there are pastures. There are cows in the pasture, and the more people add cows to the pasture, the more unsustainable it is, to the point in which it is ruined. The tragedy of the commons. The commons itself is ruined. Lysandre likely thinks that there's too many people and too many Pokemon, and that will lead to ruin for resources, and that's why it should just be Team Flare, which is crazy, and they're Nazis, but that's the idea. This goes into the balance of nature. As Pokemon talks about a world in which Pokemon and humans live in harmony, man has conquered the planet, like we had done in the real world, and has created technology to capture these Pokemon and use them for battling. As humans, how can we be stewards of the planet? Can we keep the balance of nature? Can we be part of the whole natural community? Can we coexist with animals? Can we coexist with nature? Can we coexist with Pokemon? Lysandre said no. On to Sun and Moon. Let's briefly talk about Guzma and Team Skull and their ideas of community. Team Skull very much sees themselves as a family, as they are all rejects of the trial challenge or in any other way. Guzma is a failure of the trial challenge, and that's why he is done with these Hawaiian traditions, Alolan traditions, and wants to change things. Team Skull serves as their own community. It's tradition versus change. Team Skull asks, how can communities adapt and change? Team Skull does not feel belonged in the world. Lusamine wants to go inside the Ultra Wormhole and live with Neolego. Lusamine, as we see later on, is an obsessive collector of Pokemon. Very vain, a little lustful, and yeah. The Ether Foundation comes off as people who want to take care of lost and abandoned Pokemon. Lusamine takes this to the extreme. She totally has obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, which is an obsession with perfection and likely leads to getting nothing done. She wants the perfect, beautiful world with her and Pokemon. Lusamine pretty much believes that she's the only one to protect the balance between humans and nature, and therefore has an idea of a beautiful world in which only certain people get to live inside it, which means, well, she goes inside the Ultra Wormhole and lives with the Neolego. Lusamine's problems very much come from the loss of her husband, Mon. Going into the theoretical, basing this off of a theory from someone, I'll get back to that. Mon likely wanted to open up the Ultra Wormhole, and he did go inside. But when this happened, Lusamine might have gotten attached to the Neolego that was in the portal, and likely got some of its neurotoxin. Now, Neolego is based off of no ego. No ego means no self. Neolego has now latched on to Lusamine and put some neurotoxin that has made her given her that obsessive personality disorder. What came from a good place has now been distorted into something crazy. In Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, Moan visits the Ether Foundation, and Lusamine talks about how she doesn't like that Pokemon are just left in PC boxes. Lusamine in some way is heeding the ideas of Team Plasma. She wants Pokemon to be taken care of. Problem is, her obsession made her think that she was the only one that could do it, pushing away her only 2 children, and forcing them to rebel against her. Back to obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, and man's domination over nature. Cyrus, in the first games that I beat, Diamond and Pearl, wishes to create an ideal world, him as the creator. This is man's conquering of nature to the extreme. This is man wanting to reshape all of the nature in his own image. It is right there, front and center. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Archie of Team Aqua and Maxie of Team Magma, will also want to offset the balance of the world, either flooding it or making it completely land. This is another way of man's thinking that they can conquer nature. Now, on to Sword and Shield. Yeah, the story's not that good in this game, but let's analyze what it does have. Because of backlash from Sun and Moon, they minimize the cutscene, so you get a last-second rich guy that's the villain. He wants to bring energy to all of Galactic. Now, I want you to think about this. I am very much basing this off of what I read from a PokeJungle post, so let's get to it. The Industrial Revolution, the Scientific Revolution, and Pokemon. Let's go, and then we'll get into environmentalism. The Galar region is the UK. The origin of the Industrial Revolution. So of course, much of the region is centered around this idea, even having a Motostoke town that still takes place in a somewhat steampunk kind of way. So, to think about it, of course the villain is a rich guy, but his goals are actually related to just getting more energy. There are arguments if our resources are actually finite or infinite. Chairman Groves comes from a good place, but also a very industrialist place. He wants to keep on giving energy to Galar. Seems energy is great, still also very much tied to innovation that clearly the Galar region demonstrates with very high-tech Pokemon battles and the invention of Dynamax, which came from the sky and came from Eternatus. So fighting Eternatus may symbolize how innovation could eventually lead to our ruin. The end of humanity. Eternatus' name may even come from Thanatos, meaning the death of humanity. The fact that Eternatus is an alien symbolizes man's wanting to possess everything and to get energy and extract it from anything. Chairman Rose's using Eternatus, although for good reason, is still man wanting to conquer the whole entire universe and use it for his own resources. Of course, yeah, Eternatus may or may not have stopped climate change, so that would have been cool, but we don't really know. Eternatus is the skeleton of a great dragon. It is the end of what is all great. Corruption of humanity, the end of man, the end, maybe, of nature itself. Robots taking over the world. Man's desires taking over him and ending him. That is Eternatus. Eternal death. The poison that lives inside all of us. We'll get back to man conquering nature very soon. But time for happy things. This is completely based off of Hoops and Hips' video about this. Much smaller community is, of course, your family. Pretty much a lot of characters have family. Ultimately, especially between Hop and Leon, family is very important. Bede and Chairman Rose, Bede is his adopted son, but Chairman Rose gives him up after he's a little bit too obvious about trying to get to his goals because he doesn't want it to be shown. So he disowns him, and Bede eventually gets taken under the wing of Opal, the fairy-type gym leader, who sees goodness in him. Many characters show their family. Pretty much, this is saying how important it is to be connected to the community that is your family. Family is very important, and you need to cherish it. And when you think about community, it all starts with the family. Look at more at Hoops and Hips' video where he goes more detail into that. So now, on to the advent of science. As we said at the beginning of this episode, Pokemon wants you to document all of the Pokemon. There are many powerful mythical creatures that live in this universe. Many ideas of science that need to be discovered. Little idea, of course, that shows this are the fossil Pokemon in Galar. They are mismatches, representing a time in which people in the Industrial Revolution wanted to get fame at all costs. Of course, goes back to the theme, man's balance with nature. It can lead to your downfall if you want to go and document all the Pokemon, like people wanted to document all of the dinosaurs and do that at all costs, and therefore being careless or cara-less. Not caring about what you actually find. That is the problem with the monetization of science. Of course, with this highly technological society, where does man exist? What is community? Are we part of nature? To say this, let's go to Aldo Leopold. Argues that adding to the community should be all of the land. And honestly, in a world of Pokemon where not just animals, but plants and rocks and all of that all live in harmony with man. Man values everything. Man values, though takes control, but still values nature. It's the best kind of dominion. Dominion, of course, is this biblical idea in which that God has given man the right to be a steward of the planet. In Pokemon, it's shown to be in its best state. Although we fully don't know how food chains and all that work in Pokemon since it's a kid's game, and we don't want to think about Pokemon being eaten, although like Heatmore and Durant and a couple of other times we see Pokemon being eaten. It's just something we don't want to picture. So thinking about that, it's interesting. And then there's the ideas of three wildernesses. William Cronin discusses that Wilderness 1 is an idea in which man hates nature. Wilderness 2 is where man sanctifies nature but is apart from it. Wilderness 3 is where man sees himself as part of nature. I think Pokemon definitely is a Wilderness 3. As Pokemon Go shows, go outside, take a walk, be a kid again, love nature, and that's why Pokemon is the best. It fosters a love of all the creatures in the world, giving them a special kind of power with us, a special kind of connection, a special kind of love that people try to threaten in the games, but we will always keep the same. We will always stay in balance. It's the perfect utopia. It's the perfect ideal, the perfect truth for man. Although man may want to take in more of nature, he has his place. Pokemon are shown to clearly have more power than us. We just have the intelligence. So we can control them, we can teach them how to use things, but they ultimately, we need them. We need Pokemon. Pokemon are not slaves. They're our companions. We are one with nature. Go into the wild, have a good time, love nature, because that's what Pokemon wants you to do. I love Pokemon because I love nature and I love animals. I love going outside. I love going around the world, seeing everything. And in Pokemon, you get to do that. You get to walk around. You get to go in Sword and Shield. You go to explore the wild. It's all wonderful. It's all blissful. It's all beautiful. And you get to experience it with other people. You expect to experience man's social instinct. You get to experience community. You get to be one with the world, and no toxic fan base is going to change that. That is Pokemon. That is why I love Pokemon. Now, briefly before we go to other testimonies, let's just briefly talk about why Pokemon is the largest selling media franchise in the world. Because of our attachment with animals, our attachment with nature, our wants, its closeness. The Pokemon are so iconic, so well designed, so much lore, so much, all this stuff designed into them. Kids just love it. It's all just wonderful. And when you have good animals, you have good stuff to show, you're going to make money. It's based off of our best instincts. Yes, it's got people just gouging us, making games with, yes, maybe not the most effort anymore, but either way, it's based off of our best. It's a giant love. It's a love of nature. It's a love of insect catching that Satoshi Tajiri originally loved. And that's why Pokemon is amazing. You should love it too. Pokemon fosters a connection to the world. It fosters a place of sense of self in the world, a sense of connection for all the people out there who need friends. They can find them in the world of Pokemon. They can find them in real life. They can battle, they can trade, they can do all that stuff, and that is why Pokemon is awesome. Bye. Now on to some testimonies. Why Pokemon is awesome. Why they love Pokemon.
I have absolutely loved Pokemon since I was a kid. I think one of the biggest reasons that I have is just because of the captivating stories and characters, and of course the Pokemon themselves. Even after all these years, I still keep coming back to these games, and I always have so much fun whenever I play one.
I love Pokemon because it allows you to traverse a world that's so similar to our own, but that's also a little bit different from our own because in our world, Pokemon sadly don't exist as much as a lot of us, I'm sure, wish they were. But like within the Pokemon story, I found so many Pokemon I love, like Lurantis and Milotic and Meloetta. And I could go on with that list, but I'm not going to. It allows you to go on this amazing adventure that is more than likely not even really possible in real life. And you can see so many crazy things. And it's kind of like seeing our own world without actually doing it. And I've made so many friends through the Pokemon franchise, including some voice actors. And it's brought me a lot of connections that I didn't think I would have, and a lot of possibilities I didn't think I'd have. And I'm glad to see how far the series has come, both in the games and the anime. It's something that I didn't know I'd fall in love with so much when I was younger, but here I am now. I've played a bunch of the games. I watch the anime all the time. I have some of the toys. I collect cards a lot. And it's just an all-around good time, and I love Pokemon for that. It brings out the child in me. I'm not gonna lie about that. It does. And that's really just all of why I love Pokemon. Because it's just so amazing.
This is Flasherspiel. Goodbye.